Why you're not yourself anymore. How chronic stress rewires your behaviour. Hook, you snap at your partner over nothing, then wonder who you've become. That's not a bad mood passing by Tuesday. Research from Michigan State University found that chronic stress causes measurable, lasting changes to your personality traits, not just temporary irritability. And the scariest part, most high-performing women don't even notice it's happening until the people around them start walking on eggshells. The good news is your brain can heal, but only if you understand what's actually going on inside your head. The moment you stop recognizing yourself. So how does this actually happen inside your head? Let me give you a picture. You're running your own business, or maybe climbing hard in a corporate job while raising kids. You're the one everybody calls when something breaks. The clients, the team, the school, WhatsApp group, it all flows through you, and you've been proud of that. You could handle it, but lately something feels off. You catch yourself snapping at your colleague over a tiny mistake, and you think, who is this person? Then you cancel dinner with a friend because the idea of putting on clean clothes and smiling feels exhausting. A client you've been chasing for months finally signs, and instead of excitement, you feel nothing, just numb. This isn't burnout in the I need a vacation sense. This is deeper. Your personality is shifting. The version of you that used to laugh easily, try new things, and give people the benefit of the doubt is fading. And the person replacing her is sharper, colder, more reactive. She's not you, but she's who you've become. Researchers at Michigan State University, publishing in Psychology and Aging through the American Psychological Association, tracked people under long-term stress. They found something disturbing. These weren't temporary mood swings. The participants became measurably more introverted, less friendly, and more closed off to new experiences. These were lasting personality trait changes. Your brain is literally rewiring itself under pressure, and the new wiring doesn't feel like you. The worst part, other people notice before you do. Your partner walks on eggshells. The team stops bringing you ideas because they don't want the reaction. Friends stop calling because they assume you're too busy. And you just think you're being efficient, but you're not. You're disappearing. What stress is actually doing to your brain. But it's not just memory and sleep. The changes go deeper than that. In a stressful moment, your brain reacts like there's a physical attack happening to your body. It flips on the fight or flight switch and floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. This is ancient biology. It kept our ancestors alive when a predator showed up at the cave entrance. Cortisol mobilizes energy, sharpens your focus, and prepares you to run or fight. For a single crisis, it's brilliant. The problem starts when stress stops being a moment and becomes your normal. When the client deadline, the sick kid, the unpaid invoice, and the never-ending inbox are all screaming at you every single day. That's chronic stress. And chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated for weeks, months, years. Dr. Amy Knight at the University of Alabama at Birmingham explained this clearly in her 2025 research. Chronic stress encourages inflammation in your brain that slows recovery. 3 brain regions take the worst hit. First, your hippocampus. That's the part that handles memory and emotions. Under prolonged cortisol exposure, it can actually shrink. That's why you walk into a room and forget why you're there. It's not because you're scatterbrained. That memory hub is physically smaller than it used to be. Second, your prefrontal cortex. This is your CEO brain. It plans, decides, and drives motivation. Chronic stress means this region contains fewer neurons, so you can't start the project that was easy 6 months ago. Decisions feel like lifting a weight. Third, your amygdala. That's the fear and emotion center. Chronic stress makes it overactive. And that's why you lie awake at 3 a.m. catastrophizing about an email. Your brain is treating every notification like a threat because the amygdala has been cranked up and nobody turned the volume back down. Harvard Medical School found that long-term stress makes it harder to remember things and pay attention. Brain scans show the parts of your brain that help with thinking can get smaller or work less. This is visible on medical imaging. Your brain is changing shape because of your schedule. The personality shifts nobody warns you about, so is this permanent? Before I answer, I need to show you how these brain changes show up in your daily life, because when your brain structure shifts, your personality traits shift too, and this is measurable. The first shift is decreased openness to experience. You used to love trying new restaurants, testing new software, taking a different route home, just to see what you'd find. Now you stick to what you know. Same food, same routines, same safe choices. Your brain is trying to keep keep you safe by shrinking your world. It feels like being practical, but it's actually fear wearing a disguise. The second shift is reduced agreeableness. Patience drops, cooperation gets harder, and you snap more. Here's why this matters more than you think. Harvard Business Review found that likability plays a bigger role than competence in work relationships. Colleagues would rather work with a pleasant person of average ability than a highly qualified person who's difficult to deal with. So when stress makes you sharp and short, the damage goes beyond your mood. It quietly destroys your professional relationships. People stop wanting to be around you and they stop wanting to work with you. The third shift is increased neuroticism. Your mood swings happen faster and stronger. Leipzig University published research in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in June 2023, tracking over 2,500 participants. They found that people under greater stress exhibited greater changes in emotional sensitivity. Those who didn't manage stress well were more affected by their emotions, felt more anxious, and had greater difficulty staying calm. Stress and neuroticism feed each other. More stress makes you more reactive. More reactivity creates more stressful situations. You're trapped in a loop you didn't build. And here's the social trap. Stress turns you less easygoing and more anxious, so you create more conflicts. Conflicts increase your stress. Your partner feels it, your team feels it, and you feel it. The loop tightens. Why entrepreneurs and high performers are especially at risk. So if you're sitting there recognizing yourself in this, let me tell you why women like us get hit the hardest. You're living in a pressure cooker that didn't exist 20 years ago. Work density has risen dramatically. You're expected to do more in less time. AI tools, faster processes, constant connectivity. Everything is speeding up. WellHub's 2025 workplace research confirmed what you already feel. Stress keeps climbing, and the tools meant to help us often just add more pressure. Women in particular get squeezed from multiple directions. You're running the business or performing at a high level in your career. You're managing the household, the kids' schedules, the family calendar. On top of that, you're the emotional anchor for your team, your family, your friends. And somewhere in there, you're supposed to take care of yourself too. The boundaries blur. The business doesn't end at 5. Family obligations don't pause for launch week. You're answering emails while making dinner. You're reviewing contracts while your kid does homework at the kitchen table. There's no off switch because every role you play feels urgent. Then there's the perfection trap. You want to excel at everything and please everybody. A study of entrepreneurs found that nearly 90% struggle with mental health. Nearly a third are significantly affected by it. But most keep going because stopping feels like failure. When you become less open to new experiences, you stop problem solving creatively. Less agreeable means your team feels the distance. More neurotic means every decision feels heavier. The stress that's supposed to drive performance starts destroying the traits that made you successful. The way back. So I've shown you how deep this goes. Now for the question that's been hanging over everything. No, these changes aren't permanent. Your personality isn't set in stone. Oregon State University found that people with persistently high stress have a 50% higher mortality rate over several years. But the increased risk comes partly from behavioural changes. And behaviour can change back. Dr. Knight at UAB said it directly. Making healthy choices, sleep, nutrition, staying active, building joy. That builds a more resilient brain and reduces persistent inflammation. Your brain, that chronic stress rewired, can be rewired again by deliberate recovery. So what can you do? I want you to start with 3 things today. Protect your sleep like it's a client deadline. 7 to 8 hours minimum because your brain needs real rest to recover. Take 1 real lunch break away from your desk. Detachment lowers cortisol. And name 1 thing you used to love doing and schedule it this week. Openness to experience can be rebuilt deliberately. The version of you that your family and team miss isn't gone. She's just buried under cortisol and deadlines. You can dig her out. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's the 1 sign you recognised in yourself? I read every comment and I hope you know you're not alone in this. Next week I'll share the exact morning routine that helped me rebuild my own focus after my cancer diagnosis. I'll see you then.